Namaskar. A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of NCRD's Institute of Pharmacy, Nerul, I would like to extend a warm and gracious welcome to our speaker for the day, Mrs. Manjiri Gharat, and all the participants. It is indeed an honor and privilege for us to have Manjiri ma'am as the speaker for today's national webinar on the topic Role of Pharmacist in Patient Counseling. Now, let me give a brief introduction of our speaker, Mrs. Manjiri Gharat. She is the principal of KM Kundani Pharmacy Polytechnic, Ulhasnagar, Mumbai. She is the vice president of Indian Pharmaceutical Association IPA and chairperson of Community Pharmacy Division of IPA. Apart from her academic and administrative responsibilities at her institute, Manjiri ma'am has been active in the area of community pharmacy and consumer medicine education. She was instrumental in establishing a public-private partnership engaging community pharmacists in TB DOTS program. Mrs. Gharat is also involved in professional development of pharmacists through training them to various aspects of good pharmacy practices to help them play a vital role in public health and to promote responsible use of medicines by pharmacists and patients. She has been a regular pharma columnist in regional newspapers like Muksatta and has a book on medicine awareness to her credit. She received the fellowship of IPA and is a recipient of several awards from social and professional organizations in the country. Ma'am, please accept our heartiest congratulations on being elected as the Vice President of FIP, that is International Pharmaceutical Federation. I request Manjiri ma'am to please begin with the session.
Good morning, all, and thank you very much, Priya Madam. Thanks for this kind invitation, and thanks to Pingade sir, the principal of NCRD College of Pharmacy. Thank you, sir, for following it up and then organizing this webinar. And thank you, Priya Madam, for all the coordination here. So good morning, everyone, all the dear students, all the pharmacists and the faculty members who have joined today for this webinar on patient counseling by the pharmacist. So this is I'm going to just discuss about right. So we are going to discuss about the patient counseling by the pharmacist and the outline of the presentation. Students, I understand that you will be, most of you will be in second year D Pharm. So you have not yet studied the pharmacology in detail, but you must have studied already health education and community pharmacy, and you have already started discussing drug store and business management. So relevant to that, we are going to discuss what exactly is the role of pharmacist in this changing time. Okay, so the outline of the presentation will be changing role of pharmacist, how it is changing. What is the need of patient counseling? What is patient counseling after all? Are there any barriers? And what is the role of different professional associations? Or what are the resources available for you which are ready to use? I'm sure all of you have studied in pharmaceutics one, apothecary, the term apothecary. What does it mean? It meant that in olden times, the pharmacists used to make the medicines in the pharmacy. That was compounding, which was done in mortar and pestle. So mortar and pestle became the symbol of the pharmacy because the pharmacists used to make fresh medicines using different ingredients and using mortar and pestle, weighing balance, etc. And used to dispense it to the patients. But slowly, as we advance, there was an industrial revolution. And because of industrial revolution, what happened is the medicines were made. I mean, there was a beginning of the era where the medicines were made by the manufacturers in the industry, and the pre-packed medicines started coming to our pharmacies. So pharmacies changed their look, and the role also began. I mean, there was a difference now in the role because pharmacists were no more compounding, but they were just selling the pre-packed medicines. So over a period of time, what happened was, because the compounding job was gone, that role was vanished, the pharmacist became kind of the seller of the medicine. or the dispenser of the medicine. Okay, prescription comes, you just pick up the medicines from the shelf or the drawer, and then it is given to the patient. So now the point is, now the question is, the issue is the role of pharmacist just dispensing of medicine? I agree that the core job, the central job of any pharmacy and any pharmacist is going to give the medicines, to dispense the medicine. But is that going to be, I mean, is the role, that role should be just limited to dispensing, or should there be something more in it? And what's happening globally? Okay, so all over the globe, if you see different countries, the developed nations or even the neighboring countries in Asia, the role of pharmacist and the focus of pharmacy practice. When I say pharmacy practice, that means I'm referring to the retail chemist shops as well as the hospital pharmacy. So that is pharmacy practice. So role of pharmacy practice is changing from product to person. Okay, now what do we mean here by product? The product means the medicines. So we are not focusing, the pharmacist is not focusing just on the medicines, but focusing more on the patient. And now it is called as person centric. So whosoever comes to the pharmacy, the patient or the consumer. So the focus of the pharmacy practice is now towards patient. So we are there for the patient. So medicines is just a channel through which we are going to cure our patients. So the focus is changing from the product to the person, and the pharmacist's role is changing from medicine seller to caregiver. So pharmacist is taking care of the patient by dispensing medicine and by doing much more to the patient along with those medicines. So this responsibility of being caregiver, why it is coming to the community pharmacy? Now, students and colleagues, when I say community pharmacy, the community pharmacy means the retail pharmacy shop or the retail chemist shop. Globally, this retail pharmacy setup is called as community pharmacy, meaning the pharmacist who comes directly in contact with the community. That's what is the setup, community pharmacy. In India, still this term we don't use that commonly, and we call the pharmacist or the chemist as medical shop, chemist. But then globally, the retail chemist or retail pharmacy setup is called as what? Community pharmacy. So now why this responsibility to the community pharmacy of being a caregiver and not just dispensing the medicine? Because all of you know that people often visit the pharmacy when they are not feeling well. Whenever anyone is not feeling well, instead of going to the doctor, instead of immediately taking the doctor's appointment, what person does? They go to the nearby chemist shop and ask, tell the symptoms and take some medicines, take advice of the pharmacist. So pharmacists are at the forefront. They are the first point of contact. The pharmacist is called as what? The first point of contact for people with symptoms, and the last point of contact before the patient receives the medication. Okay, what I mean here, when the patient is not well, when there are some symptoms, patient will first go to the pharmacy, will talk to the pharmacist, then may go to a doctor, and after patient receives the prescription, again he comes back to the pharmacy before going home to buy the medications. So if the pharmacist is first point of contact as well as the last point of contact before going home with the prescription medicines. So this is very important reason for community pharmacy has to expand on the central role of dispensing medicine. So in today's modern healthcare, the role has expanded from just selling of medicine to various services, and medicine consumption is increasing all over the world, of course in our country also. So if we just look around the world, there are various services which are provided by the pharmacists. So there is dispensing and much beyond dispensing. So pharmacists are helping out the patients for, smoking cessation. Then they're monitoring the diabetes treatment. They're monitoring asthma treatment. They are also helping the patients with management of anticoagulants. That means those drugs like aspirin, etc. There is medicine use review. The pharmacists are going to patients' home. They are doing the home visits, and reviewing how the patient is taking medicines, whether the medicines are having any side effect, whether patient has compliance, means whether a patient is taking all the medicines which are prescribed by the doctor in a manner prescribed by the doctor. So this is all happening globally, and all these different services are provided by the pharmacist in the community setup. So really the world had changed, and because all these services are provided by the pharmacist is considered not just as a trader, एक shopkeeper, ऐसे नहीं उनको कहते, एक दुकानदार, no. The pharmacist is considered as a healthcare professional, and the pharmacist is considered as a link between the pharmacist serve as a link between the doctor and the patient. These are some of the photographs from different countries, and all of you, I mean, all these pharmacists have something very common, that is they're all wearing the apron, the lab coat, so they are showing their own identity. They also have a name badge on their lab coats. They all have a unique smile on them. Okay, you have to understand that the patient who comes into the pharmacy is not coming for shopping. He or she is coming because somebody is not well, or he or she is not well. That's why they're coming to the pharmacy. So it is very important that the pharmacist makes it very personal. Pharmacist interacts with the patient so that patient feels very comfortable and talks to the pharmacist. So this is like overall face of the pharmacy profession in most other countries. The pharmacist appears as a professional, has his or her own identity, has a smile, makes you comfortable, and the pharmacist is considered as a patient counselor, friend to the patient. No wonder, because of such expanded role of pharmacist in the community, whenever there is opinion poll taken among the citizens, that whether you like pharmacists more, or doctors, or teachers, or policemen, bankers, politicians, when such poll is taken, public is voting for whom? Public is voting highest for the pharmacists than even the doctors, right? So pharmacist is rated as most trusted professional by the citizens of many countries, and that is called as what? Gallup poll. So this Gallup poll is like opinion collection about different professionals in countries like Canada, UK, United States. So this is a matter of great pride for all of us, that pharmacists are most trusted professional by the community, by the public. Okay, now, so you understood, I guess, the role of pharmacists, how it has expanded, and how many things the pharmacists are doing apart from just selling of the medicine. Now we come to how the medicines are used by the community. लोग मेडिसिन कैसे यूज करते हैं? बराबर से यूज करते हैं, बराबर से दवाइयाँ लेते हैं, सेल्फ मेडिकेशन करते हैं, डॉक्टर ने जो कोर्स बोला है वो फॉलो करते हैं कि नहीं? So that's what is medicine usage. WHO, means I am sure you all of you know, World Health Organization estimates that more than half of all medicines which are prescribed by the doctor, dispensed by the pharmacies, or sold are sold inappropriately, and half of all patients fail to take them correctly. So this is something that we need to focus. ओके, सपोज डॉक्टर्स प्रिस्क्रिप्शन इज रैशनल, फार्मासिस्ट ने बराबर से मेडिसिन दे भी दिए, लेकिन घर जाके पेशेंट बराबर से मेडिसिन लेते नहीं है. Patients fail to take the medicines correctly. So this is the situation world over. We don't know exactly what is happening in India, but if it is happening in the world where already pharmacy practice is developed, uh, so many doctors are available, healthcare services are good, I'm sure in India, not only more than half, but it is much more higher percentage of people who do not use their medicines correctly because they don't know how to use it. Nobody's there to tell them. So why this situation? Poor health literacy. Our people are not literate. Literacy rate is less. And health literacy. Health literacy का मतलब है आरोग्य साक्षरता. So knowing about these things like where to go, which doctor to see, how to take the medicines, what care to take, all that is health literacy. Literacy regarding the own health issues. So there is poor health literacy among the public. Then there is irresponsible use of medicines is very common. So irresponsible use क्या मतलब क्या है? Overuse, बहुत ज्यादा दवाइयाँ लेना, जब जरूरी नहीं है तब लेते रहना. Underuse, जब डॉक्टर ने बताया है कि 5 दिन का कोर्स कंप्लीट करो, वो 2 दिन में ही छोड़ देना. Wrong use when it is not needed. Okay, wrong use means when it was not needed, patient took certain medicines. So there is rampant self medication. सेल्फ मेडिकेशन मतलब खुद जाके दवाइयाँ लेना जब डॉक्टर ने नहीं बताई है. मेडिकेशन नॉन एडहेरेंस. नॉन एडहेरेंस मतलब डॉक्टर ने जैसे बताई है दवाइयाँ वैसे नहीं लेना, छोड़ देने, दवाई का कोर्स कंप्लीट नहीं करना, या 4 दिन में 3 गोलियां लेनी है, एक भूल जाना, something like that. That is non-adherence. That means the patient is not adhering. So पहले हम term use करते थे non compliance, अभी term use होता है non adherence. So patient is not following, not sticking to the doctor's instructions about how to use medicines or what diet to follow and so on. Then wrong use of different dosage forms. Antibiotic misuse is very common. There is a lot of wastage of medicine. Unnecessarily medicines are bought. घर पे ऐसे ही पड़े रहते हैं, बाद में फेंक देते हैं. So there is a lot of wastage of medicine. There is improper storage and disposal. So overall, medicines बराबर से use नहीं होते हैं. Before we go forward, I just want to make clear. I know you must be knowing, but let me again just tell you. When we are talking of medicines, modern medicines, allopathic medicines, they are of two types: prescription medicines and non-prescription medicines. Okay, now prescription medicines means 80 to 90% of the medicines are prescription medicines. That means they should be only prescribed by the doctor after doctor does the diagnosis. So patient should not be taking them on his or her own. No self-medication should be there for prescription medicines. So prescription medicines are like antibiotics, steroids, all cardiac drugs, psychiatric disorder drugs, most of the painkillers except paracetamol and aspirin, most of the anti-ulcer drugs, they're all prescription medicines. Now how can we identify prescription medicine from the labeling? I'm sure you know, but let me emphasize. All the prescription medicines have red line on the left side. Okay, on the label you will see the red line. You will also see RX or NRX, and there is a caution. Now the box is red color box. The red color box will have schedule H or H1 or schedule G warning that it should be taken only under medical supervision, or it should be sold only by retail without, it should not be sold on retail without the prescription of the RMP. So these are like different types of caution. So red box with caution, RX and red line, this indicates that that is a prescription medicine. Okay, so prescription medicine should be, the schedules you must be learning now in pharmaceutical jurisprudence or forensic pharmacy, different schedules of the drugs, so that there will be a warning according to which schedule it is, right? So everybody, you should also be consumers ko aapko, like you have to teach this to your family members, to the consumers, that these are the prescription medicines and do not take it without a prescription. Now, all other medicines, like 10-15% medicines in the market are OTC medicines. They are actually called as non-prescription medicines. So you don't require a prescription to buy that. You can go and buy it without any prescription. But they are also serious medicines that person should take care with while using OTC medicines. Okay, now let me tell you, non-prescription is not the term which we use for OTC in India is non-prescription, because OTC, over the counter, that term is not there yet in our law. So we call them as non-prescription, but in general terms, we can say it as OTC. So prescription medicines and OTC medicines. So now all these medicines, how people are using it, we saw that there is a lot of incorrect use of medicine. So just few examples. How do the patients take oral liquids? कैसे लेते हैं and कैसे लेना चाहिए? Many of the patients may take the medicines with a kitchen spoon. Doctor ने क्या कहा है? 1 teaspoon. Now 1 teaspoon is 5 ml, right? So one should be measuring it with the cup cap or dropper for infants. But people may take it with a kitchen spoon. So dose will not be correct and there may not be the expected therapeutic effect, right? So this is a very common mistake made by people, especially for children. So they should be using this cap, but it is not used. Chewable tablets, instead of chewing, they are swallowed with water. Big tablets. Okay, albendazole के tablet है, vitamin C के है, वो सब बड़े बड़े big size tablets रहते हैं. They should be chewed before swallowed. but they're gulped like that. So dry syrups are not reconstituted properly. Inhalers for asthma are not used properly. So antibiotic course is not completed, as I said earlier. ब्लड प्रेशर के टैबलेट्स है, किसी को हाई ब्लड प्रेशर है, रोज एक टैबलेट नाश्ते के बाद लेनी है, लेकिन कभी भूल जाते हैं, कभी लेते हैं. सो नॉन कंप्लायंस है, नॉन एडहेरेंस है. And you know, BP tablets रोज नहीं लेंगे patient. If doctor has said that you should be taking it every day, then one day the blood pressure may shoot up so high that there might be hemorrhage, there might be bleeding, stroke, heart attack, anything can happen. Why? Because patient did not use the medicine correctly. Patient ने compliance नहीं दिखाया. So these are like simple things, simple examples of incorrect use of medicines by our patient. And of course, there is a lot of self-medication of the prescription medicines. People feel that there is, for every ill, there is a pill. That is a pop-up pill culture in our country and world over, but more so in our country because medicines are easily available on the counter. People go and keep on buying omeprazole, keep on buying inosol, gelusil. So much antacids, anti-ulcer drugs or painkillers are, consumed by the people that ultimately they affect the digestion, they affect the kidney, long-term side effects होते हैं. But that is very common. Sometimes steroids are misused to an extent that there could be osteoporosis. Now, this person kept on buying steroids. Why? Because he wanted to build the muscles. और वो जिम जाने के बजाय उसने क्या किया, किसी की सलाह मान ली और एक नियर बाय केमिस्ट शॉप से स्टीरॉयड के टैबलेट लेना चालू किया. What happens because of steroid? आपको पता रहेगा, कोर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड्स लेने के बाद मसल स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ती है, मसल वॉल्यूम बढ़ता है. But what happened along with that, he started taking it and he started taking these oral steroids. He took it almost for 3 to 6 months. And because of that, severe side effects of steroids he faced, and there was osteoporosis. The bones became porous. Calcium nikal gaya. He started having lot of bone pain, muscle pain, and hypertension, and all those problems. Ultimately, in KM hospital, he had to undergo surgery, hip surgery. So the person who wanted to build muscles, he wanted to become a Bollywood hero through a shortcut of using steroids, ultimately is walking with the walker. Why? Misuse of medicines, misuse of steroids, self-medication of steroids. So the person is also used. I mean, I can blame the person. Why did he buy the steroids? Why did he go for such shortcut? He could have gone to gym, he could have had the balanced diet, and he could have built up his personality, built up his muscles. Instead of that, he chose the steroid shortcut. But he's like ignorant, uneducated, health literacy नहीं है, और उसने किसी की सलाह मान ली और ये किया. But we should also blame that chemist shop who kept on giving the steroid without a prescription, right? Because steroids are prescription medicines, और वो chemist ने उसको रोज ये दवाई every week he was coming should not have given. So the pharmacist did not do his duty. Consumer was not well aware, and this happened. Okay, so such pharmacists we call it as pharmacist का P निकाल दो और वो pharmacist है. They are harming the society, they are harming the public. So that is not the role of the pharmacist. Okay, so the misuse of medicines is quite common, irresponsible use, and all these things can happen, consequences because of the misuse of medicine. Very lot of side effects, adverse drug reaction, just now we saw steroids ka, failure of standard therapy, relapse of the disease in case of infections, antibiotic resistance. I hope you have heard of it now a little bit. Prolonged illness and hospitalization, इतना पैसा खर्चा होगा, बार बार hospitalized होना पड़ेगा, medicines लेना पड़ेगा. So all this is happening because of the irresponsible use of medicines by the community. So here comes the role of pharmacists. Okay, now why there is so much of irresponsible use of medicine? One very important thing what we said was that health literacy नहीं है. People don't know how to use medicines. Nobody is teaching them. School में ये education नहीं है. Doctors के पास ये time नहीं है. So whose role is it? World over किसका role है ये? Pharmacist का. So pharmacist has tremendous opportunity and scope to contribute to public health by improving the medicine usage by the public. So dispensing remains a core job. Yes, dispense करना है medicine sell करना है, उसी के ऊपर पूरा business है. But along with that, patient-centric services, patient-centric approach has to be there, such as patient education for correct medicine usage. And that patient education, a general term that we use is patient counseling. काउंसलिंग मीन्स कंसल्टेशन देना, पेशेंट के लेवल पे आके पेशेंट को समझाना. Okay, not giving some big advice which will not be understood by our patient. So patient counseling is defined as providing medication information orally or in written form to the patients or their representatives on direction of use, advice on side effects, precautions, do's and don'ts, storage, diet and lifestyle medication, lifestyle modifications. So this patient counseling can be done in two ways. आमने सामने, face to face. Okay, patient pharmacy में आएगा, patient को सब बताया जाएगा. Along with that, we can do written information. Written information patient को दे सकते हैं, कुछ leaflets, stickers, etc. So the counseling could be verbal or counseling could be written information. To whom are we going to do the counseling? Pharmacist को किसको counseling करना है? खुद patient को. It could be a patient who is coming with the prescription to the pharmacy, और पेशेंट के रिलेटिव आएंगे. ओके, सो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव और रिलेटिव ऑफ अ पेशेंट, जिसको समझाना है दवाई देते हुए कि मेडिसिन कैसे यूज करनी है. Okay, what is required for the effective patient counseling? What facilities are required? Ideally, if the pharmacy has a small corner also, that is called as patient consultation area or patient counseling area, it will really help. So those who need consultation or counseling, the patient can buy the medicines, or while giving the medicine, pharmacist can advise, give the education. Most pharmacies do not have that, but why I'm telling you, emphasizing because some of you may open your own drugstores, or you already have your own drugstores, you may have to renovate it. So please keep it in mind. A small patient care area or a small patient counseling area, you name it the way you want, will be very helpful to keep the patient's privacy, and it will help you to be more comfortable with the patient. Both of you will be more comfortable, where you can measure the blood pressure, talk to patient, give advice, etc. Right? So patient care area, this facility will be very helpful. Even if it is not there on the counter, also counseling can be done, but this will be very helpful. Then drug information center and counseling aids. I mean, you may not have in a pharmacy drug information center, but if there is a drug information center run by some bigger hospitals or by state pharmacy councils, they are helpful to give you, provide you the resources. They are helpful to the pharmacist to give the correct information. Drug information resources like books can be kept in the pharmacy. Pharmacists should be well trained to give the counseling, and communication skills are required. Something very important along with your pharmacy knowledge is verbal and non-verbal communication skills. आप संवाद कैसे करते हैं, pharmacist patient के साथ कैसे बात करते हैं, that is very, very important. So communication skills is the heart of the patient counseling, and good communication skills are needed to gain patient's confidence and help to motivate the patient to adhere to the therapy and to the recommended regimen. As I said before, the counseling process will be verbal and non-verbal. Verbal में आप language क्या use करते हैं? आपके सामने जो patient है वो ज़्यादा literate नहीं है, ज़्यादा शिक्षित नहीं है, उसको English नहीं आता, और आप इंग्लिश बोलते जाएंगे, उसको कुछ बताते जाएंगे इंग्लिश पे, कुछ भी फायदा नहीं है. सो द लैंग्वेज विच यू यूज, द वॉल्यूम, ओके, देन एंड द स्पीड. आप बहुत फास्ट बताते जाएंगे पेशेंट को, ये दवाई इसके लिए है, ये ऐसे करना है, पेशेंट को कुछ नहीं समझेगा. सो वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन, वन हैज टू गो टू द पेशेंट्स लेवल and talk to the patient in the manner, in the language that patient will understand. And non-verbal communication skills are also very important in effective patient counseling. Proximity, आप पेशेंट को कितने दूर से बता रहे हैं, कैसे दूर से या कितने नजदीक से बता रहे हैं. आई कांटेक्ट है क्या, मतलब आपका ध्यान है क्या पेशेंट की तरफ, या आप कुछ पेशेंट को बता रहे हैं, दूसरी जगह फोन पे बात कर रहे हैं और कुछ दूसरा ध्यान है. तो आई कांटेक्ट गिव्स लॉट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस एंड पर्सनल टच. एंड फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन, आपके एक्सप्रेशन कैसे है. दिस इज वेरी अगेन इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर द फार्मासिस्ट, बिकॉज फार्मासिस्ट के पास अलग अलग तरह के पेशेंट आएंगे. समझो HIV एड्स के मेडिसिन लेने के लिए कोई पेशेंट आया, तो देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी एक्सप्रेशन दैट अरे ये एड्स का पेशेंट है. There has to be a very composed, proper facial expression. We should not react. Pharmacists should not react on the prescription. Pharmacists should be always in the role of pharmacist and should not give any personal reactions. Okay, what are the steps in patient counseling? First, introduce yourself with greeting. आप कैसे भी बात कीजिए, नमस्ते, how may I help you? There can be any way of greeting which you are comfortable with. History taking means little bit. You cannot have more time for history taking. लेकिन आपको क्या तकलीफ हुई थी? आप डॉक्टर के पास क्यों गए? Okay, so what were the problem symptoms? History taking. Then review the patient's prescription. आपका प्रिस्क्रिप्शन है, आपके रिलेटिव का है, सभी दवाइयाँ चाहिए, ये सब आप पूछ सकते हैं पेशेंट को. एंड डिस्पेंस मेडिसिन विद काउंसलिंग. एक एक दवाई दिखाते दिखाते वो दवाई के बारे में पेशेंट को इम्पोर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन दीजिए. एंड देन आस्क पेशेंट वेदर ही हैज अंडरस्टूड. आप पूछेंगे ना कि समझा ये सब मैंने जो बताया? पेशेंट विल नॉट द हेड, यस समझा. बट दैट ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन यू डोंट पुट. यू आस्क, ये मैंने आपको ये दवाई अभी दी है, आपको पता अभी, आपको याद है कितने बार लेनी है दिन में? खाना खाने के पहले लेनी है? कितने दिन तक लेनी है? Ask such questions. Okay, आप yes or no वाले question पूछेंगे, the patient will just say yes and patient will run away. So these are the steps in patient counseling. What information should be given to the patient? Medicines, brand name and generic name. Most of the medicines right now at least are dispensed with the brand name. I mean they are written with the brand name. So वो brand में कौन सा generic, कौन सा chemical name क्या है drug का? ओके, सपोज एटेन टैबलेट, ATEN, एटेन टैबलेट, तो एटेन टैबलेट में ड्रग कौन सा है? एटेनोल है. हाउ इट हेल्प्स, क्या यूज है? आपको अभी हाई ब्लड प्रेशर हुआ है तो डॉक्टर ने आपको ये एटेनोल टैबलेट दिए है फॉर रिड्यूसिंग योर ब्लड प्रेशर एंड आपका इसके ब्लड प्रेशर नॉर्मल रहेगा. हाउ मच टू टेक? सो वट एवर, वन टैबलेट टू टेक वन टाइम, 2 बार, वो बोलना है पेशेंट को. हाउ ऑफन टू टेक, हाउ लॉन्ग इट विल बी नेसेसरी. डॉक्टर ने कहा है कि 1 महीना ले लो और 1 महीने के बाद फॉलोअप के लिए आओ. दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी टोल्ड. When to take, before, during or after meals, so like when they're on empty stomach or after food, at bedtime, at any other special time. How to take it? Swallow करना है पूरी, ब्रेक करके लेनी है, पानी के साथ, फ्रूट जूस के साथ. What to do if you forget the dose? Like सुबह का डोज था, patient forgot it, what to do? So missed dose instructions, any other precautions, all that is ideally information that is to be given. Most of the patients don't understand what doctors write. Okay, so what is the meaning of 100,001? I'm sure all of you know what is 100. So like 1 in the morning, 1 at night, 1 in the morning and night, only at night, and so on. So this should be like, dosage instructions are extremely important and they should be told to the patient. Do not miss the dose, comply with the prescription. And if you do miss the dose, take a missed dose as soon as possible. But if it is almost time for the next dose, skip the missed dose. मीनिंग क्या है कि समझो सुबह और शाम की टैबलेट है पेशेंट को, ओके, 1-1. अभी पेशेंट सुबह की 9 बजे की टैबलेट भूल गए और शाम को उनको 5-6 बजे याद आया, लेकिन नेक्स्ट टैबलेट उनको शायद लेनी है 7 बजे, 8 बजे, वॉट एवर टाइम यूजुअल, तो वो 5-6 बजे टैबलेट नहीं लेनी है, बट द नेक्स्ट डोज टाइम पे लेना है. अदरवाइज व्हाट पेशेंट में डू, 6 बजे याद आई, सुबह की टैबलेट 6 बजे ली और दूसरी नेक्स्ट टैबलेट 8 बजे, या 8 बजे 2 टैबलेट ले लिए, then that will cause toxicity, that will cause side effects. So skip that earlier dose and follow the regular schedule. But if it is only 1 dose per day, then patient can take as soon as he remembers, maybe in afternoon or at the most evening. So do not take a double dose or extra dose. Patient should be told about what is 1 teaspoon, what is 1 tablespoon, child dose, how to use dropper. That is very important to be told to the patient. How to store the medicines at home? Ideally, the label says how to store it, but we need to tell the patient, do not keep any medicines near the window, gas stove, heat source or sink, because after all medicines are chemicals और वो moisture, heat के कारण खराब हो सकते हैं. So do not keep it near the window or gas stove, heat source or on the refrigerator, in the bathroom, etc. Keep them away from heat, sunlight, moisture, pets and children. So this is like one sentence that is to be remembered forever for all medicines. Keep it away from heat, sunlight, moisture, pets and children, because pets can eat the tablets, children can mimic you, आपको वो कॉपी करेंगे एडल्ट जो मेडिसिन ले रहे हैं और आके वो दवाई खा सकते हैं. So all that should be, this is very basic instruction patient should be knowing. So pharmacist should be telling the patient about it. All tablets, capsules, etc. can be kept in nice one box inside a cupboard away from the heat, sunlight, and liquid medicines can be kept in a tray. रेगुलरली ये मेडिसिन देखने हैं जो रोज यूज के मेडिसिन नहीं है, उनकी उनकी पीरियोडिकली हमें उसका सर्वे करना है घर में और देखना है उनकी एक्सपायरी हो गई है क्या, और अनयूज मेडिसिन कैन बी चेक्ड एंड डिस्पोज्ड ऑफ. Okay, so those are the general instructions that must be given. If we are dispensing a particular dosage form, उसकी instructions भी जरूरी है, counseling करना जरूरी है. समझो ड्राई सिरप है तो रिकॉन्स्टिट्यूट करने के लिए कैसे बॉइल्ड एंड कूल्ड वाटर यूज करें, up to which mark it should be filled, shake well before use, all that is very important. आपको पता है अभी अपने फार्मास्यूटिक्स में पढ़ा है टाइप्स ऑफ टैबलेट्स, सो देयर आर एंटरिक कोटेड, सस्टेन्ड रिलीज टैबलेट्स एक्सेट्रा, different types of tablets. So each type of tablet needs at least one piece of instruction how to take it. Chewable tablet, chew it before swallowing. Dispersible tablet, do not swallow. Tablet should be placed in a cup or a spoon containing 510 ml water and allowed to disperse completely and then swallow it whole. Mouth dissolving tablet does not need any water, just keep it in the mouth and then that will be dissolving. So there are different types of tablets, and suppose if the patient is taking sustained release tablet etc., it should not be cut, it should be taken whole. Capsule should be taken along with water. पहले थोड़ा पानी लेना है, फिर कैप्सूल रखनी है, फिर से थोड़ा पानी लेना है, otherwise capsule sticks here and patient feels very uncomfortable. So these are basic instructions. आई ड्रॉप्स के लिए आपको पता है आई ड्रॉप कैसे एडमिनिस्टर करना है, एंड इट शुड बी यूज विद इन 1 month after it is opened. So eye drop like what products have 2 expiries, okay, one after opening, one without opening given by manufacturer. So that should be that important instruction should be told to the patient. Some medicines should be taken before food, some should be taken after food. Some medicines can be taken regardless, मतलब खाना खाने से पहले भी लो या बाद में लो, doesn't matter. But some medicines like painkiller should be taken only after food, otherwise acidity हो जाएगी, ulcers हो जाएंगे, right? So patient should be knowing about whether before food or after food. When it comes to one special category of drugs, that is antibiotics, every pharmacist should be remembering that antibiotics are very special medicines and there is a problem of antibiotic resistance, and therefore we must take care. No antibiotic should be dispensed without a prescription. Discourage self-medication of any antibiotic. And if patient comes with a prescription, then instruct the patient that antibiotic course should be completed. If doctor has told to take 5 days, 7 days, that should be completed. So this is very important role of the pharmacist. Along with all these medicine instructions, pharmacists can also tell about some non-pharmacological measures like home remedies, proven home remedies. अब इस कोविड की सिचुएशन है, patients can be told about gargling with hot water. So proven simple home remedies. Lifestyle modification का मतलब है रूटीन में कुछ चेंज लाना which will be beneficial. Like for example, if the patient has high BP, then walking like exercise will be helpful. So that lifestyle modifications. So these kind of, they're called as non-pharmacological measures. It's not exactly related to medicines, but changes in your lifestyle routine. If patient is coming for OTC medicines, like patient is coming for non-prescription medicine, prescription नहीं है उसके पास, वो आके एस्पिरिन मांग रहा है, पैरासिटामोल मांग रहा है, then it is duty of the pharmacist to talk to the patient why it is necessary for him to take aspirin, is he taking it for so long, what are the symptoms. So that should be discussed. Accordingly the pharmacist can dispense the medicines. So if along with face-to-face verbal counseling, if it is supplemented by the written information, that is very useful, that reinforces the information which is given by the pharmacist. So the written information can be in the form of like stickers. So small stickers can be stuck on the product without taking care that we are not hiding any information like expiry date or contents. So that can be like before food, after food, take it at bedtime, avoid alcoholic drinks, or very small instruction, small piece of instruction can be there on the stickers. Such type of ready-made stickers are available in most other countries. So we can here also in India, I have seen some pharmacies are making their own stickers. Sticker roll रहता है and just small sticker can be stuck without spending much time. Patient information leaflets made by different organizations or councils, That can be handed over to the patient. Patient can read it at home. So such type of written instructions, charts can be placed in the pharmacy about suppose abhi dengue hai, malaria hai. Regarding that, you can make a small notice board in the pharmacy where patient can read. पूरा information नहीं पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन at least उनकी नजर में आएगा. That will be helpful. So charts can be placed in the pharmacy. So these are like different types of written patient counseling. Now, after discussing what is patient counseling, after understanding कि क्या patient counseling में बताना है, क्यों बताना है, are there any barriers? ऐसे prohibitive factors है कि counseling नहीं कर पाते हैं या counseling करने के लिए कुछ difficulties है, तो ये barriers क्या है? 3 types के हैं. pharmacy related है, मतलब pharmacy shop related, खुद pharmacist के रिलेटेड है एंड पेशेंट के रिलेटेड है. बैरियर्स, मेनी बैरियर्स आर देयर. फार्मेसी ओवरऑल आप देखेंगे केमिस्ट शॉप बहुत ज्यादा वर्कलोड रहता है, प्राइवेसी नहीं रहती है, एक छोटा सा दुकान रहता है, पेशेंट काउंसलिंग एरिया नहीं रहता है, लैक ऑफ टाइम एंड स्टाफ रहता है, स्टाफ कम रहेगा, वर्कलोड ज्यादा रहेगा. फिजिकल लेआउट ऑफ फार्मेसी ऐसे रहेगा कि वो रोड साइड छोटा सा शॉप है, सो difficult to do the counseling. Pharmacist related barriers, lack of education to the pharmacist. Okay, formal education भी लिया है तो patient counseling का approach नहीं है. Lack of experience in counseling, counseling ज़्यादा नहीं किया है, मतलब कभी पेशेंट आया डायरिया का या वोमिटिंग का टैबलेट दे दी, वो काउंसलिंग नहीं है. लेकिन प्रॉपर काउंसलिंग जैसे अभी हमने स्टेप्स में देखा, दैट एक्सपीरियंस इज नॉट देयर, सो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है. लैक ऑफ नेसेसरी रिसोर्सेज, मतलब ऐसे बुक्स या पेशेंट इंफॉर्मेशन लीफलेट्स हाथ में नहीं है, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स डेवलप नहीं हुए हैं, एंड पेशेंट को पता नहीं है कि फार्मासिस्ट मुझे काउंसलिंग देगा. दैट इज ऑल्सो अ प्रॉब्लम. So what happens? Patients are always patient related barriers. Patients are in a hurry. Patients won't wait in the pharmacy. बिल लेने के लिए भी मुश्किल से रुकते हैं, राइट. सो पेशेंट आपको बताएंगे, आप पेशेंट को बताएंगे ठहरो मैं दवाइयों के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन देता हूँ. पेशेंट्स विल से, उसकी मेंटालिटी रहेगी नहीं नहीं मुझे सब पता है, मैं निकल रहा हूँ. सो पेशेंट्स आर ऑलवेज इन अ हरी, क्योंकि अभी तक वो कल्चर ट्रेंड डेवलप नहीं हुआ है. पेशेंट्स क्लेम दैट दे ऑलरेडी नो एवरीथिंग अबाउट द ड्रग्स. They don't wish to be counseled for some reasons. Sometimes literate patients are and having no caretaker, so hearing and vision problems. So all these type of issues may come from the patient side, right. So this is like some barriers which one needs to overcome and do the counseling. In spite of all these barriers, okay, our pharmacist, not everyone in the not all shops, but many pharmacists are doing an excellent job of counseling patient, or at least on basic issues of the medicines, which is still important, which is very valuable, and I appreciate those pharmacists who give the counseling to our patients in spite of many constraints. Now we will take some examples before we end the presentation. What counseling can be given to the patient of the like parent of a child who has been given amoxicillin pediatric suspension, 125 milligram per 5 ml twice a day for 3 days. So firstly ask for whom is the medication prescribed and for what. Explain that the child has been given an antibiotic and thus the course should be completed even if the symptoms disappear. Explain to shake well the container before use. Explain to use a measuring spoon for administering. Storage conditions, and explain about the what measures should be taken. So this is all like for the counseling can be given for the pediatric suspension. Now suppose a patient comes with a complaint of diarrhea. Okay, now a good pharmacist will not dispense any antibiotic for diarrhea immediately. पहले पेशेंट के साथ बात करेंगे, कब से है प्रॉब्लम, कितना प्रॉब्लम है, and then first thing the good pharmacist will do is give ORS, oral rehydration salts, and will give some instruction to patient about drinking water, etc. Using only boiled cooled water, etc. But not give antibiotic without prescription. राइट. सो फॉर द डायरिया पेशेंट्स ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रोबायोटिक या ओआरएस देना ठीक है. पेशेंट आस्किंग रिपीटेडली फॉर एंटासिड, बार बार पेशेंट आके जेल्यूसिल मांग रहा है, इनो सॉल्ट मांग रहा है. सो वन शुड फार्मासिस्ट शुड आस्क कि आप इतने की दवाई क्यों खाते हैं, आपको पता है इसका साइड इफेक्ट होगा, आपको क्यों एसिडिटी होती है, आपका लाइफस्टाइल क्या है, आप उसमें रूटीन में चेंज लाओ, etc. So that kind of discussion can lead to some change in the lifestyle, may reduce acidity of the patient, or pharmacist can direct the patient to an appropriate doctor so that patient is treated properly, and self-medication with antacids should be avoided. So these are some of the examples. I mean, we can go on taking such examples, and now just to develop, the insight for you, I gave some examples. Now, the pharmacy students, while doing your D Farm or B Farm or Farm D has a lot of patient-centric syllabus entire. So, but in D Farm or B Farm, how to learn the counseling. Okay, so in our college from Principal KM Kundani Pharmacy Polytechnic, we have a small model pharmacy. It's not a functional pharmacy, it is just a concept. But we have this setup, and we use the method role play method, in which pharmacist once will become patient, once will become, I mean, our student will become patient, and once the student will become pharmacist, and then they will enact एक नाटक करेंगे. This is like a drama. So patient will come with the prescription, and the pharmacist will give instruction. So this is a very good learning method. So अपने हमारे हर एक कॉलेज में मॉडल फार्मेसी हो या ना हो, but this kind of role play method can be done even in the classroom, even in the lab. So this is one very good effective method to learn the counseling. So collect prescriptions and then start reading prescriptions. वो prescription में कौन सी दवाइयाँ वो देख लो, वो दवाइयों को क्या काउंसलिंग करना है वो लाइब्रेरी में जाके बुक से देख लो, एंड देन प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ एंड देन इनैक्ट, देन ये रोल प्ले, देन ये ड्रामा करो. It becomes very interesting. So when the pharmacist giving such kind of patient counseling, the public should also know about it. Patient should also know that pharmacist is there to help you. So these kind of boards which are seen in some pharmacies, I really appreciate they putting this up. Ask about your medicines, know your medicines. तुमची औषधे विचारून समजून मगच घ्या. This type of board really helps the consumer walking in the pharmacy. वो पढ़ेगा ये, then he or she also feels कि this shop is different than the other shop. Here the pharmacist is going to give me some valuable information. So these type of boards placing in the pharmacy at a very prominent place, strategic place is very useful. So consumers को भी sensitize करना है कि रुको थोड़ा दुकान में. I'm there to help you. I'm going to educate you. Okay, now if you want to refer to some material on this, रिस्पॉन्सिबल, आप पढ़ाई में तो फार्माकोलॉजी जैसे सब्जेक्ट में पढ़ेंगे, क्लिनिकल फार्मेसी में पढ़ेंगे, बट प्रैक्टिकल लाइक फॉर कंज्यूमर्स क्या क्या बताना चाहिए, then you can go to IPA, Indian Pharmaceutical Association's website, go to publications, and you can collect all these publications free of charge. Responsible use of medicine. Also see many posters which are made for the consumers, so that if you read, it will definitely develop your understanding more and more. Also, you go to ipapharma.org again, go to publications and see this E-Times, which is a periodical after every 2 months, and that is for practicing pharmacists and students, academicians, ready to use information, and I'm sure you will like that. Visit the other professional association, the International Pharmaceutical Federation's website, and see there is wealth of information, knowledge, resources available over there. So whatever we are learning in the classroom is not enough right now through online mode, but otherwise actual classroom, that is not enough to develop the competent pharmacist. If you really want to be a competent pharmacist progressing well in the career, you need to be a member of professional associations, or even if you don't take immediately the membership, but you can at least be in touch with these things which are coming up from the professional associations. Now Pharmacist Day is coming on 25th of September, and that's how the NCRD also organized this lecture. So you should be knowing what Pharmacist Day is, why is it celebrated, what is the theme of it. So you should be in touch. So FIP in 2009 started the Pharmacist Day on 25th of September to create awareness about the pharmacist and role of pharmacy profession overall in the community, in the public, right? So this Pharmacist Day is now 11 years old, and this year the theme of Pharmacist Day is transforming global health. And on the occasion of Pharmacist Day, various programs are organized, public awareness campaigns are organized. This year is different because of COVID. We cannot organize rallies, etc. But many virtual programs like this today's are organized. So you should be in touch with the world. You should not be confined only to the classroom, only to the notes, only to the question banks, only to the exams. No, that is not going to help you to progress in life. Okay, now coming to the summary of our patient counseling. Medicines are double-edged sword. They are very useful if are used in proper way, but while they can be either ineffective or harmful if used irrationally and irresponsibly. So pharmacist has a great opportunity, एक बहुत बड़ी संधि है, as a great opportunity as well as responsibility, जिम्मेदारी है to improve medicine usage by the patients with effective patient counseling. So again, coming to one slide which I showed before. So globally, the focus of pharmacy practice is changing from product to person. That means from medicines to the patient to the person. And pharmacist is no more considered as just dukandar, as a shopkeeper, as a mod medicine seller, but a caregiver. And your coming generations, your future generations, you are the next gen pharmacists. So you should have this in mind while learning every subject of pharmacy, and you should be having that insight developed already, that the pharmacist, it is the power of the molecule is released by the hands of the pharmacist. So those hands you have, and you are going to be a pharmacist of tomorrow. So this insight and this understanding will definitely help you that we are existing only for the patient, and so whatever we are doing is for our patient. So always keep that in mind. And this is the end of my lecture, but maybe it is the beginning of something new happening in your mind, and keep it up. And if you have any questions, you can always write to me, or you can ask right now if there is a possibility, or you can always email it to me. So again, from Principal KM Kandanani Pharmacy Polytechnic and Indian Pharmaceutical Association and International Pharmaceutical Federation, thank you very much NCRD for organizing this national webinar. Thank you.
For all the participants, I've shared the feedback link in the live chat and hope that you have all filled and submitted the feedback form, which will help in generation of e-certificates. So we have come to the end of today's event, and I would like to propose vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to express my deep sense of gratitude to Manjari Gharat ma'am to take out time from her busy schedule, accept our invitation, and talk about the need of patient counseling and the changing role of pharmacist. I am thankful to our principal, Dr. Rupesh Pingre, for his constant support and guidance. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our colleagues and all the participants without whom the program would not have been a success. Once again, thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, and stay connected. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.